I'm gonna start on 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's begin with this. So this is Pac-Man World, the debut of Pac-Man on the 3D platforming. This game was released on the PlayStation in 1999. After it has been in development for like 3 or 4 years, I don't remember exactly. But the first project was entirely scratched, which I'm really happy about that because the controllers were something similar to Bobsy 3D, and I don't know why Pac-Man decided to take a good amount of time to grab that ledge, but well, when things happen, things happen. So if you feel that Pac-Man looks like it's having a seizure or something like that, this is because I'm applying something called zigzagging, which is basically to mash up left, up right, right up, right down, and vice versa. Because for some reason Pac-Man's speed is increased by if you play like this. And I failed this, and this is bad, we're actually getting a bad start. Okay, there we go, because what I tried to do there is that there's a fence that you need to use a rotating platform like this that's static, and with that you're going to be opening a fence, but doing that out of bounds jump, since there's no visible boulder, you can skip that directly, and I consider that's cooler rather than just going for the regular way. This is a speedrun, so we need to have a good amount of excellent things to watch, right? So also, okay, you can right there. Hello, people. Also, I start to feel that I'm getting a bit sick, like if I'm getting a flu or something, because no, it's kind of cold here where I am, and I'm not so used to this climate. So if I sneeze or something like that, I apologize in advance. So now we move to Cordy Scope, the second stage of the game. Now, after we play on book and reach the first stage of the game, we're able to access to the rest of the stages, or at least the rest of sections of the island. But I'm gonna be doing this on the intended order because that's faster to do. So you're free to play different sections on the game, but speedrunning talking, following the intended route is faster. And well, the game is divided in 6 sections. We are on the pirate section of the island. Each section, except for the second one, has 3 stages and a boss fight. And well, this is something that you can try at home because for some reason there is no invisible world there, so you can make that out of bounds trick like that and avoid to going into the underwater section of the game. And the first element that I'm gonna be trying to get here is gonna be the key, and because we need to rescue Pac-Man friends. The objective of the game is that some Pac-Man friends were kidnapped and Pac-Man is going to the rescue from them. So here we got the first key that's gonna help to us to save the first Pac-Man friend on the next stage, which is Crazy Cannonade. And well, we need to do all of these things because the token is in a kind of a jail, so we need to destroy that with a canyon. And well, let's go. Also, something I need to mention is that I'm not gonna be saving the game unless something really bad happens, because when you die, the only way to continue with your progress is if you save the game. And since I'm not saving the game, in case that I die, I'm not gonna be able to keep going with the run. So in case something really bad happens, I'm gonna be saving the game later in the game, just to be a bit safe, but hopefully that's not gonna happen. I mentioned that because some days ago when I was derusting this, I burned my finger due to the zigzag. I burned my thumb. That was a signal that I was getting used to the game again. And also I died almost at the end of the game. Yesterday I ran this game on another marathon as a backup and nothing bad happened, so I feel confident that I'm gonna be able to make an excellent showcase of this thing. So now here at Crazy's Cannonade, we're gonna be rescuing the first Pac-Man friend, as I've said before. So if you're wondering, okay, which is the plot of the game? This game was released in 1999 because in the year 2000 the first arcade Pac-Man game was gonna turn 20 years old. Now in 2021, the first Pac-Man game is 41 years old, and yes, we are all people. We need to face the truth of the reality with a really awful taste. So due to that, it's supposed that there was gonna be a small reunion with some family and friends of Pac-Man at his house, but suddenly everybody began to be kidnapped. And when Pac-Man arrives at home after being at work, I guess, he saw that his house was a real mess, so he was really sad about that. And when he walked outside of his home again, he saw some invitations that were claiming that there was a party on Ghost Island. I'm gonna be catching this live as a backup. Because again, if you die, you lose all your progress. So he saw all that invitations that mentioned, here, there lies the extra gadget. Okay, so, well, I have that also checkpoint, so that wasn't like a big problem anyways. Well, not so close, but you get the idea. Now, he saw the invitations and were claiming that there was a party on Ghost Island where you were gonna be able to meet Pac-Man live and in person. And obviously Pac-Man knew that he was not invited, so he felt that the reason why his house was destroyed was related to that. And when he was arriving to the island, a ghost noticed that and went to tell Talkman, an evil robot who is trying to impersonate Pac-Man, that the real Pac-Man was on the island. And obviously Talkman gets mad with Ghost because it's supposed that Pac-Man ordered them to kidnap Pac-Man, and now we receive the first Pac-Man friend, which is Puka from Dig Dug. This character name is not Dig Dug, it's Puka. And there's an interesting reason why this character is in the game, besides he's not from the Pac-Man universe. And we're gonna be telling that a bit later. And well, now, HMS One back, the first boss of the game. This is the only category where we are forced to play the boss stages. Even 100% you don't do the bosses, because the boss doesn't add you any percentage to the... the boss doesn't affect the percentage of completion of the game, so the reason why you don't play as them. You don't play them on 100%, so that's something I like about all levels, because it gives you the opportunity... I was supposed to die. It gives you the opportunity to enjoy all the stages of the game. Oh, those canyon balls were a bit trolled. And well, on this second phase of this second form of the HMS Windback, now we're gonna still having these cannonballs, but we need to try to reflect and use them as a projectiles against this ship. 6 hits and we're done. Sometimes I cannot get a good pattern with the switches. Like in this case, I haven't done a bad pattern, but at least I was able to make 3 hits, so that was something good. Okay, what's early by my side? Because sometimes I don't know when does this guy wanna shoot the cannonball, so... Oh, that was close. One... Okay, there we go. First boss of it. And now we're gonna go to the second section of the island that I forgot the name of it, but for me it's the most boring one. And also it's interesting because this is the only section of the island that has 2 stages instead of 3. Because there was a 3rd stage in development, but looks like developers were running out of time to develop the game. Because the deadline for the release was really close. So they decided to use all the content that they were planning to do for the 3rd stage and add it into these 2 stages. This is also the reason why these are the most longest stages in the game. There's this cavern and there's nothing here. So yeah, this is a really boring stage, to be honest, because there's not so much that you can do here. And also stage that you just keep on any person category, because there's a glitch, or there's a bug in the game that when you access to the bonus round, if you quit the stage, the game is not gonna recognize that you have lived the bonus stage. So when you enter to another stage and die, the game is gonna think you have completed this stage, because they will say, okay, this guy was in the bonus round but he failed, let's mark this as a completed stage. So that's the way they just skip stages. That's not allowed to do here. We're not allowed to do that because, again, all levels means all levels. So getting back into the plot, Talkman gets angry, and then he notices that the other ghosts messed up things, and at the end, they were not able to kidnap Pac-Man, so since Pac-Man has arrived to the island, the ghost needs to do what they need to do in order to stop you. And now, a little out of bounds trick here. I'm gonna grab this ledge, and I went to the section I shouldn't needed to move, I guess. It's really weird that I fail that out of bounds trick like that. But you need to be on a specific spot in order to land into the water. Let's see. And I'm gonna have that because here we have another water section where we need to unlock a door in order to be able to access there. And I don't know when I'm failing this by a lot. There we go. I was up to get it. Because if we suppose that I haven't died, this saves to you 30 seconds because you need to complete a small puzzle where you're gonna be able to get a fruit that is gonna help you to open a door where a switch is lying, and when you press that switch, the underwater door gets open and you enter like that. This is something curious about the game because there are a lot of elements that will look like they are solid, but the truth is that they're not solid. And where it's supposed that you need to have invisible walls that are not like with the previous outbound trick. That it's not hard to get. So if somebody wanna give it a try, just do it. It's not something complicated. And also, if somebody doesn't believe me that I am zigzagging with the D-pad, my controller doesn't have analog sticks. Usually on speed, and yes, when speedrunning, analog sticks movement is slower. So that's why I use this controller, because I don't use the sticks. And now, Manic Minds, and this stage we're gonna be rescuing the Pac Dog, the second Pac-Man friend. And at the same time, we're gonna be having here the key, and we're gonna be saving like a minute, trying to make a little skip. And I don't know what I died here, but I need now to play as safe as possible, because I run out of lives and I haven't saved my game. After this stage, I'm gonna be saving my game, and there's a chance that I skip the second boss just to try to do this really quick. I hope that I don't die, so I'm gonna try to play as safe as possible. I'm not gonna be going for some skips or some risky strats sometimes. There are some extra lives over here, so I'm gonna be trying to catch them all. So here, again, I'm gonna be saving the game after I complete this stage. Because the boss of this section, Anubis Rex, it's a really annoying one and it's hard to complete. So as a backup, if you are low on lives, it's better that you go and try to complete the space section, which is the third section of the island. Because King Galaxian, the boss of the zone, is a stage where you can gain a lot of extra lives. Now I need to remember which sections there were additional lives. Again, well, getting with the plot, that was the plot of the game. Now Pac-Man, suppose that the ghosts are trying to stop him. I'm really glad that I haven't died there, because that's the section where you also can die. You can slip up really easy. And I'm glad that on my last runs I have never failed that. But sometimes you can fail it even when you are experienced with the game, because the game likes to be a big troll. And now, all levels. All levels is intended any percent way, because as I mentioned before, at any percent you use the bonus run glitch in order to skip stages. And as this name suggests, we are not able to skip stages. And again, the reason why I like this category is because you can enjoy all the levels that the game has, because even 100% you don't play these stages. Those tornadoes are really cool. And also with these moving platforms, I'm gonna wait until those get static at some points instead of doing risky jumps in order to reach another platform on a short amount of time, because I'm on my last life right now. But I'm gonna see if I can get another life and I don't die. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna be saving the game, but I'm gonna be doing the second boss fight instead of going to the space zone, which shouldn't be bad. And also, underwater sections are really annoying. Also, you need to zigzag in order to move slightly faster, but trying to get that stop sometimes can be a real problem and a real nightmare sometimes. Okay, I need to wait a little bit until the platform falls down. There's an additional one up here that I used to get as a backup, and now this is a real moment where we're gonna be recording a backup, mostly since we're gonna be performing a damage boosting here, because we're gonna be getting a skip in order to get the key, because we need to go to where Pac-Man is, we need to complete a little Pac-Man maze, hoping that some bananas spawn, because we're gonna be using some bananas to open the door. But if I activate this trap and I make a double jump and I zigzag like that, I can skip the requirement of going for the banana, because that's a door where a switch is lying. When I press that switch, what is gonna happen is that that top platform is gonna spawn down. It's gonna come down, and with that I'm gonna be able to reach the section where the key is. But if I make that skip, that's not a requirement at all. Now we rescue back the Pac-Man, and I'm gonna be waiting here because this guy is gonna give me something to refill my health. I grabbed a special Pac-Man just to be a bit safe. And also I'm moving slightly slow here because I'm aware that sometimes I have messed up things, and the last thing I want is to lose lives. And there we go. That was some money mines. I'm gonna be saving the game, and I'm gonna be facing another Rex. I feel confident that I can beat this guy without problems. I'm gonna be using the Game 2 for this. The Game 2 on my memory card. Now, Anubis Rex. The reason why this is a complicated boss is because this stage again is divided in two sections. First, we're gonna be having this chasing section, nothing really important. I'm just gonna be zigzagging in order to move slightly faster. This is mostly an auto-scroller, so the only way that I have to optimize this is to zigzag and at the same time to perform some dashes. After that, we're gonna be finishing Anubis Rex. But it's a trolling boss because it's gonna look like it's not gonna make you damage, or it's not gonna be like a big problem. And you will wonder, okay, so which is the problem with this boss? Well, the problem you're gonna be noticing the problem on a bit. Whenever you see damage, this is something bad, because I try to be as clean as possible at the beginning of this. So here we are on the first phase of the boss. And what I need to do in all phases is that I need to use these static platforms. I need to dash over them, and when we heard the click, that's the signal that we have reached the maximum point with rotating platforms. If I rotate the platforms, those the fists of Anubis Rex are gonna start to move. Okay, I got a one-up. Maybe I'm gonna be performing data views later just to be a bit safer. And well, in the second phase we have this tornado. And every time then you hear a click, you're gonna be watching the same time that when you're using these rotating platforms, Anubis Rex is gonna be opening its fists. Okay, I received damage there, that's a bit bad. Let's see. Okay, there's another one, I'm gonna take it again. And it's not supposed that I should have come here, but I come here. This was not the correct pace, I needed to go to the right side first, but it's fine. I prefer to change a bit the route in order to try to be as safe as possible, because I'm close to die. So I'm gonna make this safe. And on purpose I'm gonna be dying here. Maybe not, I got a piece of health. Let's see, I think that there was another piece of health on the left side. I need to be quick because when this thing spawns, they disappear really faster. Okay, I'm gonna die on purpose. I prefer to refill my health. I'm not gonna take risks with this, because this last round is the hardest one. So I prefer to be with my health full because I can take some damage in order to save as much time as possible. That was a click. I'm gonna go for the one on the left. And yes, Pac-Man decided to go to another side. That was my bad in general. And okay, that lava rock was thrown. Well, it's fine. I have these things considered into my estimate. I really hate this boss fight, and also this is one of the reasons why some people prefer to run any percent, because they don't like to face another Rex, and I give them the reason for that. But yeah, even on my PB I have lost time because I messed up things. My PB is 1 hour, 10 minutes and 46 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna receive damage, but I'm gonna be taking that on purpose. Because you can avoid the laser beam, but it's not an easy task. And again, I'm gonna be saving the game just to have a record that I have completed the second section at least, and in case that I die or lose all my lives, I don't need to review this boss fight again. And also sometimes with the CD audio tracks, if you listen that those are messed up, that's because my PS2 is dying. Still working, but I need to buy another one. But the people who used to sell them are asking for the Infinite Gems, or Dragon Balls. So that's more like a no from my side. So Space Race, first stage of the space section. There's nothing here again. Another boring stage with just nothing but mob movement. And also, at the same time, when I collect the Pac-Dots, I can use them as projectiles, so I can defeat some enemies or break boxes really quick. So that's something that I'm gonna be catching sometimes. I'm gonna getting some Pac-Dots in some situations, mostly since with this I can again break some boxes. Oh, nice. Or also defeat enemies, like for example in this case, I can break the boxes with a double on a double bouncing, but that's something I don't wanna do at the same time. And well, let's save 30 seconds. How are we gonna be saving 30 seconds? Well, that's really simple. First, there's a one up here. I'm gonna catch him just to be safe. Because I suppose that here we need to press that blue button, and we're gonna be having a little Pac-Man, kind of Pac-Man pace. Sorry, Pac-Man maze. But if I double jump like this, I can avoid all of this section. I don't need to do that thing, and I can save 30 seconds because I don't need to follow the route in order to make that blue wall disappear. And there we go. Now, far out, we're gonna be rescuing Professor Pac here. I'm not gonna be saving the game. I forgot this. We're not gonna save the game. Maybe later on the run if I require it, but usually after King Action, the boss of this section, you don't need to save the game because you can gain a lot of lives. I used to get like 8 lives on that stage, so that's a good backup. But that's also the reason why when you are running the game, it's recommended as a backup route that if you are low on lives before facing another Rex, it's better to complete the space section first. And that's something I used to do on my runs. Once I get wrecked, just need to press this button. I can double bounce also that enemy, but it's a bit risky to do that. Now let's change a bit some things here. Because in this section, suppose that I need to press the green button. That's gonna make that rotating platform is gonna fall down. But as you can see, there's a laser beam there. So that laser beam makes that sometimes you need to stop in order to don't receive damage. I'm gonna be trying to bounce over here to reach this. This is bad. I'm running out of health. But that was a little mistake. Hopefully that it's not gonna be happening again. So now I'm starting at the top. I need to press this blue switch, which is gonna spawn another blue switch on the bottom. And when I double bounce over it, we're gonna be getting the key. And with the key, we're gonna be rescuing Professor Pac, which is on the top. Also, Pac-Man has some physics similar to a ball, so this can complicate some stuff sometimes, mostly on the heels. I don't know, why am I feeling this? Come on! If I fail this again, I'm gonna go for the Nintendo after it. And there we go. Professor Pac rescue. And now you just need to complete the stage. Something funny about the game is that in order to progress, you just need to rescue Pac-Man friends. You don't need to complete the stages. But obviously, if you don't complete the stages, the sections are not gonna be unlocked. But there are some skips in order to avoid the walls that prevent you to keep progressing into the island. But you just need to rescue the Pac-Man friends in order to unlock the last boss fight. And also here we're going to be having another Pac-Man maze, but that's something that we do not require for the category, so you just can skip that and go directly and catch a token. Now, give me space. I don't know exactly. I cannot confirm that, but I feel that this is shorter than a space race, or at least is more relaxing to complete. Okay, I forgot that the piece of health wasn't there. And also, this is one of my favorite tracks in the game. It's really relaxing. So also that's the reason why I also like the space stages. Plus, the next boss is my favorite boss from the game, and maybe that can be one of the best bosses that have ever existed for any video game. And I hope that you can notice something interesting on the way we face the boss. I decided to move a bit safer. I'm collecting a lot of life, so now I'm able to take some risks. I suppose that we need to receive damage here, and there are gonna be some pieces of health, but I need to take the health, so I need to avoid that laser beam. I wasn't intending to use the pack that there, but that's something that I don't really need, so it's fine. And the token is on this section. I need to avoid those platforms. Now, so I like to do this, because you catch a token, but if you fall down, suppose that you die, but the game doesn't recognize it like that, so you just can do that for memes. You know, in Galaxian, it's really important that I don't die on this boss stage, otherwise what is gonna happen is that I can lose up to 3 minutes, because unfortunately this is a kind of auto-scroller, or at least the first section. So, we have seen that the first Pac-Man friend that we have rescued was Puka from Big Dog, and if you're wondering why that character is in the game when it's not from the Pac-Man universe, well, first of all, it's a Namco character. Namco made this game, so they're able to use it, right? And the second thing is that when this game was in development, Namco was thinking that it was gonna be better to add different Namco characters into the game, because the Namco characters were gonna be celebrating the Pac-Man birthday, the Pac-Man anniversary. but looks like they run out of time, or they simply decide to scrap the idea, then they include Pac-Man Friends and Family. But the reason why Big Dog is in the game is because they plan to have 6 islands, but they just have 5 family members, so they need to add somebody in order to compensate that whole. And also I hope that somebody has understood the reference about this stage. And also this is the reason why this is my favorite stage, because it's like if you were playing another Namco video game, but I'm 3D. There's a checkpoint here. And also you gain a lot of points here, so that's the reason why this is a backup stage. So the most points you get, the more life you can get. And also I'm trying to get additional stuff just to gain more points. In case that somebody hasn't noticed this is Galaga. And now we have Galaxian here. That's the reason why this is called King Galaxian. So the way that I'm gonna be defeating this boss, that I need to destroy the eyes. I prefer to attack first the eyes in the corners, because those are the ones that are most of the time out of the screen. So I cannot shoot to them. And also we're gonna be having some laser beams later that King Galaxian is gonna be shooting to us. Also need to be careful with that. Yeah, I have lost time destroying those eyes, but it's still being fine. Because also, if I die here, I can lose up to 3 minutes. I don't want that to happen. And so every time that I destroy an eye, I receive a piece of health. So also I need to try to don't receive damage here. It's a really fun boss, but it can be annoying sometimes. And also this is my favorite boss from any video game. And the main reason why I like to run all levels. So now this is the last eye, this is the most complicated one. I'm gonna try to keep quiet just to pretend I'm getting focused. But everything will depend about the pattern that I get with the laser beams. Because yesterday I got a really tall pattern in another marathon, so hopefully this can be different. There we go. For a moment I thought that I was gonna mess up. The pattern wasn't bad at all. It was a middle term pattern, but it wasn't good. Now, going around maybe one of my less favorite sections of the island, but at least, well, not my favorite. This is not my favorite section because there are a lot of things that make this stage annoying, but we need to complete all of this. I hope that we have people who like clowns, who like clowns on the chat. If that's not the case, I'm sorry about that. Now, plowing around, we have nothing here. And I was supposed to die. And also, I'm playing the American version, which is the hardest version of the game. It's supposed that for this category, the best version is the Japanese one, but I don't have a Japanese PS2. Besides, the Japanese version of this game, it's really cheap. You can get it for $10. Usually, the American version of this costs 30 or more. But this is the version that I have. And also, it's not supposed that I need to go up on this section, but I can do that, because why not? And also something particular that the American version has and the rest of the versions doesn't is that when you get out of the stage, if you complete the stage, your health gets refilled. That's something that doesn't happen in the American version. Fortunately, this first stage is pretty short. And also here I need to follow another pattern in order to make those stairs fall down, but with a zigzag, you can reach them without problems. And there we go. I went around. Now, bar last, here when I getting the key, we're gonna be rescuing baby back here. Something that I like about the sections of the game where the key and friend are split between stages is that first you're gonna be getting the key and then you're gonna be rescuing the friend. Which is something good, because if you find first the friend and then the key, that's gonna mean that you need to repeat stages, which is what's gonna be something really bad. I'm really glad that that's not the case with this game. Because I know there are other ones that you need to replay some stages in order to be able to complete all the game. So I'm really happy that this is not the case with Pac-Man World. I need to be really careful with those steam rays. Now, so I need to keep bouncing here because I can slip up and fall down. Because again, Pac-Man has physics similar to a ball. That's the reason why he can bounce also. And sometimes some damage animations are fun to watch. And thanks for the raid, Mr. Dino. Okay, I'm not gonna lose more time, because there's a way to skip this section in order to don't do this, because you can jump over the door, but it's really complicated to get it. Because you can skip directly in this section and you can came directly to this spot where the checkpoint is, and you don't need to do all of that, but I'm just gonna do it because I don't want it to lose more time trying to achieve it. And also, it's supposed that we need to press that switch, and it's gonna spawn some stairs on the left side, but if I double bounce on that chest, I just can simply avoid that requirement, and I can save a little more time, because I don't need to go to the left section in order to reach the stairs, and that was an interesting way to receive damage. Maybe in the next checkpoint I'm gonna die on purpose, because I need to have as much health as I can, because I'm gonna be performing some damage boosting. So here I'm gonna die on purpose. Because later on this section I'm gonna need to die on purpose also. But I need to receive some damage. And also the camera doesn't cooperate so much with you, so I need to be a bit careful about where am I moving in order to don't receive damage. Because here we're gonna be using this platform, we're gonna be going to the top. And also those pieces of wood on the floor are not solid. Because there's a bell there that I need to get in order to be able to open the key where to open the door where the key is lying. But first I'm gonna be catching the first checkpoint. I have received damage, but it's fine. And I'm just gonna be doing one of these things safe. And And as I press that switch, some Pac-Dots are gonna appear, and those flying Pac-Dots, when I get them, Pac-Man is gonna fly, and after that, he's gonna be able to catch the bell. And now that I'm low on health, I'm gonna die here, so I don't need to cross this again, and I can save some time because I'm gonna be spawning here where I got the checkpoint, so I can open the door, and I can get the key. In the past, mostly my first runs, I used to mess up things, and after I died, I just keep going into the stage. I forgot that I needed to go back for the key, and I just realized that once I reached the... once I was on the next stage and I was gonna rescue the Pac baby, and I was something like, shoot, I forgot to get the key. And that was a good way to kill the run. I'm really glad that in marathons that has never happened, and that was something just related to them. To my first PB attempts. But at the same time, I used to say a marathon as a kind of joke that people remind me to get the key. I used to tell them, spam on chat that I need to get the key after I die. That was a good way to interact with the chat. I was going to keep bouncing here, otherwise there's a good chance that I can fall down and die. Esta fue this was Bar Blast. For some reason I switched to Spanish and a bit. There's a signal that I need to keep doing speed stuff on English. Spin DC. By far my least favorite stage on this section, mostly because in the last section you can lose up to 1 minute if you made mistakes. Fortunately, I have been getting more consistent on that. So I'm gonna assume that that's not gonna be a problem. I'm gonna wait because I don't want to do damage. I have my health full, but I'm gonna keep it for now. Also, there's a lot of things here that are gonna look solid, but here, this is the best example, the best stage that you can use as an example, that not other things are solid. Really, when you play casually, you're gonna discover that. And so I refer mostly to the background stuff. But there are some weird sections where those ports are solid. You can use that on your side. Also, on the Japanese version, there's a checkpoint there instead of an actual life, which is really good. And this was gonna be better if this were the Japanese version, which is not is. This is the American release. It was pushed back. The reason why I skipped the first checkpoint and grabbed the second one first was due to this. Because if I died, I was gonna be on the other port and I was gonna lose more time in order to reach that section. I think that's the first time. That's the first time in a long time that I died here. I have never died before trying to get this. But there's another one up here, so it's gonna be something good. And so something curious about the game is that there are some stuff that some cycles that just get triggered if you trigger stuff on the stage. And that's something that we're gonna be watching later here, because there's gonna be a section where it's supposed that again we need to make some stairs fall down. We need to go for a switch route and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly how much time does that save, but everything is gonna. First of all, why did I decide to double bounce there? I shouldn't have done that, but... anyways. I guess I just need to keep trying. It has been a long time since I have got groups like this on this game. But anyways, I also need to wait for the platform to come down. Something bad about the game is the division. Usually, cultural talking, there has been a lot of people who they used to mess up with this platform because the division is not so good in the game. I need to get more closer than it looks in order to get that. I'm gonna get this just to destroy this bumping car here just to get it safe. Because here's where we're gonna be getting the skid. But there's something we need to activate in order that everything is gonna be falling down. There's a visible wall there, but with a jump and a U-form, we can skip that entirely. Now so I need to come here, I need to move on this specific slot, otherwise if I try to fall down in another section, the game is not gonna load the next section, I'm gonna die. And since I have triggered the previous part, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna be static here, so this is gonna be more easier to complete. It's still annoying, but it's gonna be helpful, mostly because, for example, this it's supposed that these platforms are rotating all the time, and if nothing gets triggered, those are gonna keep static. And it's gonna be really helpful. This is something curious because I don't think the developers were expecting that somebody was gonna skip this. Maybe they have done that in order to save resources or something like that, but honestly I don't know why they decided to associate some cycles to other ones. But yeah, we have some few moving platforms, for example, those clones are not gonna throw hot steam, so it's gonna be something really helpful. And now, the annoying part of the stage. Every time that I press the switch, the direction of these things that I don't know how those are called are gonna be changing. For now, those are going to the left, now they're gonna be moving to the right. I'm gonna be catching this platform in order to go on the top, and this enemy, those clowns, are really annoying to avoid. Okay, I'm gonna die on purpose. I prefer to be with my full health. It has been a long time since I have failed it here, so I prefer to be with my health full, just to make this as safer as possible. And comparing this with King Galaxian, I don't need to keep quiet all the time. Although sometimes I try to defeat those enemies in order to avoid that they keep being annoying. I was close to get trapped there, which is gonna make me lose more time. So you could put attention to Pac-Man's shadow in order to know where I'm gonna be landing. And this is the last section. Sometimes I used to die when I was on the top, and with that I was gonna lose like between 30 to 60 seconds. I missed the platform, so I need to wait until it's all down. Oh, he's there. Grab it, thank you. I thought that I missed it. And here we are with Baby Pac. And now, another annoying boss stage, which is Conflicts. And there's something curious about this stage, because every boss fight here, except for the first one, because it needs to load a good amount of things, have a CD audio track that it's played on the background. But with Conflicts, we have a compressed version, which is curious because, as with many CD-based games of the era, if you put the game on a CD audio player, you were gonna be able to listen to some audio tracks that were part of the game. And there's a full CDA audio track of this song on the game disc. Nobody knows really the reason behind this, but there's a theory that this boss was different at the beginning, instead of being a race on bumping cars. The annoying section of the annoying thing with this stage is that, first of all, the bumper car is really slippery. To try to control it can be sometimes a real problem. And also the clowns doesn't cooperate with you so much. I'm glad that clowns fall down directly. So what I'm gonna be trying to do here is that I need to be ahead of the clowns. Okay, most of them are falling down really quick, that's really good. Because once you get rid from the clowns and you reach the first place, I knew that was gonna happen. Anyways, let's try it again. Because once you get on the first place, the clowns are not gonna spawn again, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be on first place as fast as possible. And also, in some sections there are no walls, like the one where I have fall down, so trying to do this kinda optimized, it's not so good. And I'm really glad that the counter went down really quick from 11 to 4th place there. It's gonna help me to get rid of the clowns more faster, so I hope that I don't mess up things. We just need to get rid of that clown and we're gonna be clean, and we're just gonna be playing safe. It's not supposed that I boost on the section where I have died. used to boost on at the end of the stage, just mostly to be safe, because again, slippery controls. And also, later in the stage we're gonna be having some random sections where we're gonna be listening to explosion sounds. I assume that those are just to try to distract the player. But now I'm really glad that the clones are not gonna appear again. So you can try to beat the stage. And that's gonna be everything. No! Why? Oh my god! Okay, something tells me that we're gonna be running out of the estimate. I'm sorry about that. Or well, maybe this can be a 118. Dude, that's the first time that it ever happened to me. I have never died before on the last section of the stage. That was really bad. And this was a good beginning because I got rid of the clones really easy. That's the first time that I ever happened that, so I am a bit worried about that I'm not gonna be able to finish this under my estimate. So maybe I'm gonna be like 1 or 2 minutes ahead of it. But if I see that I'm gonna be really out of my estimate when I'm close to finish the run, I'm just gonna not finish it in order to keep the schedule safe. And then I'm boosting again. I don't need to do that. I'm not gonna boost at the end of the stage. Now we have explosion. Yeah, because I got trolled by a bomb. I used to boost when I'm here in the middle. I don't know what I was boosting when I was on the left. The reason why I'm playing this on a PS2, and this applies for all PS1 games, is that PS2 consoles has a mode called Fast Disk Speed for the PlayStation 1 discs, which makes that disk speeds faster, so you can reduce loading. You can save time and loading time because you reduce them. I think on this game, on this category, you save like 3 minutes in loading times, between 2 to 3 minutes for save. I don't recall exactly the exact amount of time. But yeah, loading times on this game are really longer. But there's no why when you are... Well, mostly when you are a Sony Games speedrunner, you get used to buy different consoles, because to run PS1 games, you need to use a PS2. If you want to run PS2 games, you need to use a backwards compatible PS3 or play the PlayStation Network release. If you're gonna be in a PS4, you need to use a PS4 Pro with an SSD. About a PS5, I don't know because I haven't bought one yet. Peerless pipes, nothing here again. There's nothing interesting to get here. Because maybe on a PS1 my actual PB will be something like a 113 or 114. But yeah, running PS1 games is really weird. Or well, mostly Sony or PlayStation games in general. No, loading times on a PS3 are almost the same like on a PS1. Because if you use a backwards compatible PS3 model, I mean the one that had a PS2 built-in, the loading times are the same like if you were playing this on a PS1. Even you can play the PlayStation Network releases of these PS1 games, but loading times there are even slower. And also, slim and super slim models of the PS2 are the Pac-Man's compatible with PS1 titles, but just with emulation. So that's why in order to run PS1 games is with a PS2. Unless you are one of the little more sport pandemonium and you don't want to allow the fastest speed in the game because I don't know. Because fun fact, that's the only PS1 game Speedrun.com that doesn't allow to people to use the fastest speed. Even they made a separate category for fastest speed, which I found that something like a kind of nonsense. But people will know what to do. That's mostly like a golden rule on PS1 speedruns that fastest speed is completely allowed for running these games. It's normal that runners go for a PS2 in order to run PS1 games. Yeah, the reason why on Pandemonium fastest speed is not accepted is because the mods say that. The mods say that when the game was released, the fastest speed mode wasn't a thing. But if you want to assume that the reason why they say that is because they are from Europe, and talking about doing speedruns and being from Europe is that importing NTSC consoles sometimes is not cheap. So it has sense for me that they do that. I have got the checkpoint, so it's fine that I have died. It's not so bad. But yeah, that's the reason why it's not a 7 Pandemonium. And well, they are the mods, so we need to stick to the rules. There's nothing we can do about that. And every year that pass, the retro gaming stuff gets expensive, even when you live on an NTSC region. So for us who live on an NTSC region, all of these things are really expensive. Now imagine how it's gonna be everything for our friends that are all regions. But hey, if you live in a PAL region and you wanna run an optimal PS1 game, you have Crash Bandicoot 2, because the PAL version for Crash Bandicoot 2 is the optimal for speedruns. Maybe in a future GG Marathon I'm gonna be submitting that game. But first I wanna learn 100%, that's a better category to showcase. Okay, and now under pressure again. We have nothing here, but we're gonna be watching an interesting escape here that is gonna help us to save like 2 minutes, within 2 to 2.5. I don't remember exactly, because there where the sea is lying, it's for that we need to fall down to another water section. But I'm gonna be bouncing here, and then I'm gonna be moving out of bounds. And now that I'm out of bounds, I have landed into the water. But what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna keep out of bounds, and then I'm gonna be swimming here down, and I'm gonna be in the middle of these blocks in order to trigger the next loading section. Once I trigger that, I'm just gonna be jumping and moving to the left, to the right section of the screen. And after 2 jumps outside the water, I have skipped entirely the underwater section. I'm really glad that we can skip those sections. I'm gonna refill my health. I'm gonna wait for this thing to come out, and I'm gonna be going up. That was better than yesterday. I was close to receive damage. Now it's supposed that we are on a factory, right? But we need to modify something. This is a factory from the villains of the game. This is a factory from the evil guys. And we are like, well, we are not... It's supposed that we're not allowed to be here. So we can mess up things, right? Because it's not our factory then, at the end of the day, and we don't work here. So we're gonna press this switch that clearly we have a signal that indicates we don't need to do that. And we need to run outside of this and don't get caught. Or like if we say to Mexico, más vale decir aquí corrió que aquí murió. And also that's something required in order to complete the stage, right? I'm grabbing this slide for memes, I don't need it really. But memes are memes. And now down the tubes is gonna have the most interesting glitch of the game, which is gonna allow to us to make another interesting skip that if we went for the intended way, we can spend within 2.5 to 3 minutes because we need to go to an underwater section. We need to move to a lot of places in order to get a bell who is gonna allow to us to open the door where the key to rescue Pac-Man Jr. is. I'm gonna be catching it because maybe that's gonna be helpful later. And also, those gears are insta-kill. I mean, they make me 25% of damage, but since I cannot move after I got hit, I'm gonna fall down and that's an insta-kill. So I need to be careful here, I don't need to die yet. I'm gonna grab this checkpoint, and since I'm low on health, I need to die on purpose because I'm gonna be doing a damage boosting here. But it's gonna help me to save 15 seconds. And I need to get a really faster kill. And this is the out of bounds trick, because I don't need to follow the route where I don't receive damage. I also need to keep pausing, otherwise I'm gonna be sliding off. So this game works in a particular way because the game loads per chunks. So if for some reason I open the Discover, and if I reach the next loading section but the Discover is open, the game's not gonna load the next thing on the game. So instead of crashing or something like that, the elements are simply not gonna load. It's supposed that in the past, in this section, you open the Discover, but that's not allowed anymore. So we'll go for a different route, because you open the Discover, the bell door is not gonna appear, so you can jump straight directly there and save time. So what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm gonna be in a specific spot, then I'm gonna be pressing up, I'm gonna be flipping into the door, and with that I'm gonna be trying to skip it. I was pushed it out. No. Let me do this again. Something bad about this escape is that it's not really consistent, so you need to be lucky in order to be able to achieve it, but even I'm not even able to leave here. There we go. First attempt. I need to press up and right and wait for a miracle. There we go! First attempt, ladies and gentlemen! This is a really amazing marathon luck here. We're getting a nice redemption comparing this with the beginning of the run. So now that I got the key, I just need to die. And also, you may notice that the ghosts, depending on the section, has something characteristic. In this case, they have security helmets on the factory, which is a detail that I really like. And also, for some reason, if you get close to Pinky and she makes you damage, she's gonna spawn some parts. Yeah, I'm really glad that I got that skip on the first attempt. That's the second time ever in my life that I have been able to get that skip really quick. I'm really happy that I got it on the first attempt because it's really inconsistent. The end later was there, but I don't need that. Yeah, that was a nice marathon luck, I need to admit that, and since I got that on the first attempt, maybe we can get a small redemption about him. The big failure that I got on Clown Tricks. I think that it was gonna be something different for a PvP, but then Clown Tricks happened. Now Chrome Keeper, 8 hits and we're done. What I need to do is that I need to get the Chrome Ball and press these hot buttons. Because if I don't have the Chrome Ball and I double bounce on there, I'm gonna be receiving damage. I'm gonna push the button, but I'm gonna receive damage. So I need to have the Chrome Ball because the Chrome Ball helps you to walk underwater, and at the same time, it prevents you from receiving damage, which is something really good. But we have here these really big magnets, so we need to avoid all of this. If we get trapped on the magnet, we're gonna be losing time. And also, I am gonna try to have as much wooden boxes here, because if I don't have the crumble and I open one of these boxes, we're gonna be having the crumble, definitely. If I break a box having the crumble, I can get a life or a piece of health or a full health restorer. It will depend a bit about the RNG. So I try to keep some of those boxes here, because there's a chance that when I press the middle button, that spawns once I press the buttons on the corner of the stage. There's a chance that this guy is gonna kick a wood box, so the box is gonna get destroyed instantly just after I press the middle button. So sometimes I try to keep as much boxes as I can, just to be a bit safe in order to save a little amount of time. And also on the Japanese release, this guy just has 6 pieces of health, 6 bars of health, so, and then on the American version he has 8. So this is longer on the American version. I'm gonna receive damage, but I don't care. Okay, I have received damage. I wasn't a good timing. That's good. I need to wait a bit also before I catch the combo. If I want a Japanese version, that will be the end, but this is not the Japanese version. Are you sure you have seen Metal Pac-Man before? And there we go. From Keeper defeated. It was decent, Sometimes I used to mess up with my inputs and I grabbed by those magnets. I'm really happy also that I haven't been grabbed by them. So this is like a 119 or maybe 120 pace. I have lost a good amount of time due to clown breaks. And well, Ghostly Garden, there's nothing here again. Next stage for the Catacombs, we're gonna be getting the key, and then we're gonna be rescuing Miss Pac-Man, which is the last character that we need to complete. That we need to rescue in order to complete the game. And so I want to explain something related to the any percent category, because in any percent category you don't do all the stages, you just rescue Pac-Man friends. And the reason behind this is because, as you have seen with zigzagging, you can go really fast. And there were some test attempts in order to try to escape as much stuff as possible. Because if you haven't completed all the stages on the first section of the island, where you have the first 3 sections, the first 3 worlds, there's gonna be a big wall that's gonna prevent you from be able to access to the next section of the island. But if you manage to leap over it, which is something possible, you can keep progressing in the game and go into the next section of the island. So there was a test attempt in order to try to do this and see if it was possible to face Stockman when you have started the game. But it was noted that the last section of the island doesn't get loaded if you haven't rescued all Pac-Man friends. So the reason why on any percent you cannot go directly and face Stockman, and you need to rescue all Pac-Man friends. And also I hope that on a future I can learn any percent. I would like to learn the category, but I'm mostly tempted into learning 100%. But I want to wait until I get the Japanese version, because here in the game there are some modern mazes that recreates the gameplay from the original Pac-Man game, but with Pac-Man World graphics. You need to unlock some of them, and in total there are 36. And when you unlock all of them, if you're playing the American version, before you face Stockman, you need to go to the mazes section of the game and complete the marathon mode, which is to complete all 36 mazes in a row. And that can take like between 40 to 50 minutes to complete. And in the Japanese release, you are not forced to do that in order to get the 100%. That doesn't require to... The game is not asking you in the Japanese release to complete the marathon mode, so that's a big amount of save time, and I need to be careful because I'm low on health. There's a small piece of health here, which is gonna be a bit helpful, and it was next to the checkpoint. And there's another one-up. And now this is just the rest of the stage just consists to keeping bouncing, and that's everything. But this is the end. And I'm glad we got it completed. I don't remember exactly which stage it was. I'll just skip on the any person run of the game. Now, Creepy Catacombs, we're gonna be getting the key. That's gonna help us to rescue Miss Pac-Man. I can get some movements here. Oh, I was on the incorrect spot. I'm gonna go for on the right section. I was trying to catch the extra life, but I'm not gonna be doing that. I mean, I have lots of life trying to catch one. Now I need to get this pumpkin here. It's gonna allow me to open this door, and now once I press the switch, this section is gonna get open, so I can keep progressing with the stage. And also, the reason why I get the crumble here is because, again, when you have it, you cannot receive damage, and those walls push you and make you damage. Even if you touch them, you receive damage. So if you catch the crumble, you'll receive damage and you can move faster there. And also, the platforms were static there because it's supposed that I needed to activate a switch that I was gonna make that the platforms began to have some movement. Also, it doesn't matter if I receive damage here, that's a full restore and at the bottom of the screen, so just catch it and then I'm safe. And also the key lies here. I don't remember exactly if this was the correct way in order to get this, but you can get it. And don't worry, Miss Pac-Man, I'm coming for you. Unless you have watched Drawn Together and you know the real secret behind Miss Pac-Man. Which is also something curious that Miss Pac-Man isn't here in the game, because the next year, well, a year after the release of this game, in the year 2000, Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness was released, but it was not a PS1 exclusive. It was also released on the Nintendo 64 and Sega Dreamcast. No, so the Nintendo 64 version is really awful. Don't play it, please. And I say that after I have tried to play it and I wanna finish it, but it's a really bad version of the game. And now it's time to try to pretend that I'm gonna be playing safe. Because this is the end of the stage and I'm low on health. Yeah, this is gonna be like a 120, 121. And advice, I'm sorry about that. I wasn't expecting to die like that on conflicts. Oh, well, something good about the run is that during it I have a good amount of time to talk about anything related to the game. I grabbed the ledge and I wasn't able to move really quick there. That was good. It had me a long time since I was able to grab the ledge on that section, so I was gonna be able to jump here directly, but well. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's try to save the estimate. I have a good feeling that I can get a sub 120 if I don't die and I make bigger mistakes. Because also this stage is really short. And the only problematic thing here is deep vision again, but I use some visual cues and some textures in order to know where do I need to move. And I have learned to do that on the bad way. So here I use a visual cue to know where I need to move. I'm glad that I haven't died there. Now there's a bell here that I'm going to be grabbing. This is not the intended bell to open the door that I'm going to be opening, but it's a bell at the end of the day. And well, since staff has given me an authorization in order to finish above the estimate, I'm going to try to do something reasonable. That I used to do before, but it has been a long time since I have really tried it. And was to spin dash on the clouds. I'm really glad that I was able to get it. Because in the past, for some reason I began to fail this when it's something really easy. No, this is the second game that we have seen on the Merlin. But yeah, this is gonna be like at 120 or 121 if everything goes fine. Stockman's Lair, last stage of the game. Something curious is that if I have rescued Miss Pac-Man and I quit the stage, the game is not going to recognize that I have beaten the stage because I haven't beaten it, but Stockman's stage is going to get open. And now, there are different phases on here against Stockman. First of all, he's going to be shooting to us, and at the same time he's going to be releasing some pack that we're going to be using in order to make him damage. Because for every 10 pack dots, I can make a super shot that makes a good amount of damage, and the Japanese release you just need 6 for that. I blame in Japan for making the Japanese version easier, but again, still being something good to enjoy. Okay, let's start with the hits. And after you have made a good amount of damage, Stockman is gonna get stuck in the middle of the stage. I suppose that I need to wait for the stairs to spawn, but if I'm lucky and I'm good with my zigzags, I'm gonna be able to reach him on the top and hit him without requiring the stairs to spawn, like I have done on this 2 times. Now that he's jumping on the floor, also the time is gonna finish when I make the last hit, so I'm ready for the timer. That time is gonna happen in like a minute. And well, he's gonna keep bouncing, but if I own the floor at the same time that he bounces, I'm gonna receive an electric shock, so I need to avoid all of this. Also, the Japanese version, you don't have those blinky clones, so maybe the Japanese release is even way easier. Okay, I think this is the last phase where I need to press the buttons. As I was ready for the damage, Pac-Man friends are gonna help me in order to help Pac-Man. Okay, in last phase, he's gonna be trying to spin dash and hits to us. I'm gonna be trying to avoid that he spin dash like that. I failed the first one, I failed the second one. It's really bad. I'm gonna finish on the estimate. Just if this guy decides to don't keep bouncing. again. And also, this is one of the weirdest times where Puka gives you health, because Puka has a bug that sometimes doesn't give you health. I cannot believe I'm not able to hit this guy. Okay, the last hit comes on a bit, so with the timer. We can do this, we can do this. And time! Under the estimate, ladies and gentlemen. Barely! Under the estimate. Oh my god. Or unless I'm watching that on my space. And now we have Orson.
It's so unfair. You ruined everything. Nobody loves a ghost.
And well, we got the 70% of completion here. Well, on the screen I don't know when I have a 120.11, and on my splits I got a 119.54. So I finished this under the estimate. I'm gonna be showing you the proof in a bit. Let's deactivate this studio mode. Finish under the estimate, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. And now the game tells us that we got a 70% of completion. We haven't got the real ending of the game. But basically that's the end when you finish all this. And in order to get the other 30%, I need to get all Pac-Man letters. I need to unlock all the mazes, and in the American release I need to do the marathon mode. And well, that was Pac-Man World. This was my only run on this marathon. I want to say thanks to GG Speedruns and staff for allowing me to be featured on this third marathon. I was able to be part of the previous editions with Snow Brothers in one of them. And well, also congratulations for them for their third anniversary. And shoutouts for the amazing work they have been doing on the Speedruns community. I really hope that we can keep celebrating the GG Speedrun's birthday on a future, and maybe be able to be featured on their streams and in their events on future events. But this is the beginning of this. This has the party has started. We're still having a good amount of runs to watch, so please keep tuning the marathon. Unfortunately, for some reason, Angus is not working for me, so he cannot check which is gonna be the next run. But well, I really hope that this coming run was something fun to watch and amazing and enjoyable for everybody watching the marathon. Please keep enjoying the event. Remember to donate for a good cause. This was Ghostsenpai, and sayonara.